Hey guys, today we're going to be taking a look at an awesome matchup between the 2003 beast of a man, Ronnie Coleman, and the 2009 Jay Cutler. Ronnie Coleman and Jay Cutler were arguably in their best shape of all time during these years, and I thought it would be cool to accurately scale them together to see what they would look like on stage. All right, so moving into the front double biceps shot for both men, I'm immediately drawn into Ronnie Coleman. I mean, you look at his biceps, his triceps, his arms, and they're huge, absolutely huge. I think he once said 24 inches. Jay Cutler's arms are just as big, maybe a little bit smaller, and I'm really liking Jay Cutler's flow here. He has some flaring lats, a very tight midsection in comparison to Ronnie Coleman. Uh, really smooth, no distension. Ronnie Coleman does have a little bit of distension. His midsection is a little wide, but he's still keeping it together, Ronnie Coleman. We look at the quads, and Ronnie Coleman's quads are just massive. I mean, they are massive. And we know Jay Cutler has some insane quads too, probably top 10 of all time. But, I mean, I think Ronnie Coleman's overall package, um, you know, defeats Jay Cutler in the first pose. Moving into the second pose, the front lat spread, I am again immediately drawn into Ronnie Coleman. I mean, just look at how much mass this man is carrying on his upper body, his lower body, everywhere. Look at how his lats fill out his frame, the striations in the chest, striations in the shoulders. I mean, overall, what a package he is bringing. And let me say, I mean, Jay Cutler, look at the width through his upper body. I mean, he fills out this pose almost just as well. His abdominals look amazing. His quads look amazing too. His calves, you can see them peeking at the bottom there. They look amazing. I mean, look at the hairdo. I mean, for God's sake, this guy looks amazing. This is a hard pose to call, but I think, I mean, the conditioning on both men from the front looks almost similar. I think I would have to give this to Ronnie Coleman as well, just because of that freak factor. I mean, goodness, man. Going into the side chest shot, I'm immediately drawn into Jay Cutler. He presents himself really well here, showing a lot of detail throughout the upper and lower body. Everything flows really well, and he has good proportion. Now, I look at Ronnie Coleman, and he's massive. He has a lot of cuts everywhere as well. His midsection is in check, same with Jay Cutler. Striations everywhere for Ronnie Coleman. It doesn't really look like he was posing correctly in this shot. Probably the camera took the shot at an odd time, but just from these two pictures here, I'd probably have to give it to Jay Cutler because of the overall flow. All right, we are going to head into the side tricep pose, and I am once again immediately drawn into Jay Cutler. Look at his midsection, look at the legs, look at the tricep itself, look at the arms, look at the chest, the traps, look at the face. Everything flows extremely well. This is probably like a top five side tricep pose. I mean, you heard it here. Top five, in my opinion. Now, I look at Ronnie Coleman, and he is pretty good too. I mean, for Ronnie Coleman, he is looking pretty good. His legs are amazing as always from the side. His chest is huge, his arms are huge. But if we look at the actual tricep and we pick him apart, his tricep is striated like crazy, but it's tiny. It's like a pancake. We look at the midsection, and the midsection is looking distended. It's he could be hitting this shot much better, but he isn't. And that's why, once again, Jay Cutler is running away with his pose because of his amazing presentation. Alrighty, heading into the back shots. This is domination city for Ronnie Coleman. You look at his hamstrings, his glutes, his back, his arms. Everything is amazing. Now, I will give Jay Cutler some credit. His calves, his hamstrings, his glutes, and his upper back and arms are looking phenomenal as well. But look at Ronnie Coleman's lower back. Look at the way that his traps and the lower lat and everything just flow really nicely and are very thick and dense. Compared to Jay Cutler, it's almost as if he's missing those lower lats. I don't really know what happened. It could be nerve damage, it could be an injury, but that is really taking away from Jay Cutler's overall flow because Jay Cutler is just as wide and probably just as dense everywhere else. But I mean, Ronnie Coleman's presentation and flow here is just unbeatable, unbeatable, which is why Ronnie Coleman is going to be running away with the rear lat spread. Moving into the rear double bicep pose, I'm immediately drawn into Ronnie Coleman. I mean, look at that back. Probably top back of all time. I mean, that's kind of controversial, but I believe that he has the best back of all time. Uh, Jay Cutler, like in the rear lat spread, is missing those lower lats. I don't know what happened, like I said, but it's really taking away, like I said, taking away from that physique, man. I mean, because look at Jay Cutler, look at those arms. So nice. Look at the upper back. So proportional. Everything looks amazing for Jay Cutler. Look at the glutes. I've never seen his glutes so diced. Look at the hamstrings. They're just amazing. The calves. Oh my goodness. Ronnie Coleman. I mean, what can you say? His glutes are alien like. His hamstrings are, wow, his hamstrings are just like steel cables. His back is thick and dense. There's no signs of atrophy yet in his arms or in his back. I mean, he's looking amazing. This is prime Ronnie Coleman. And that's not to say that this isn't prime Jay Cutler either, but I believe that Jay Cutler cannot defeat Ronnie Coleman from the back. While Jay Cutler is really good here, he just isn't a match for Ronnie Coleman. And just how it was like Domination City for Ronnie Coleman in the back shots, this is Domination City for Jay Cutler. I mean, look at that V taper on Jay Cutler. It's amazing. His width in the upper body to a relatively small waist with those amazing abs. I mean, his core is diced. His legs are diced. Look, you can even see the striations peeking through in his quad. I mean, Jay Cutler just looks like a statue here. He's amazing. Ronnie Coleman, I mean, hey, I've never seen him look this good with this much mass in the ab and thigh shot. But I mean, that core, man. I know it's all genetics, but it really isn't appealing. It does not look aesthetically pleasing to the eye. Ronnie Coleman's thighs are massive. They are massive. But I do not think that Ronnie Coleman's overall display is enough to beat Jay Cutler's almost picturesque, perfect display. Now, I just thought I would throw in this quad stomp from Jay Cutler from 2009. I mean, look at this. I mean, this just shows how good he was. Um, Look at the quads. Look at that core. I mean, this just kind of flows in with the ab and thigh we were just talking about. But I just wanted to put this in here because of how iconic of a shot it is, and just because I admire this shot so much. Finishing off this comparison with the most muscular shot, I mean, Ronnie Coleman looks amazing. Jay Cutler looks good in his own right too, with the striations in the quad, with the chest. I mean, you can see everything looks really good for Jay Cutler, but Ronnie Coleman, man, he's almost unbeatable in the most muscular because he has the most muscle. Um, yeah, that's enough said. I mean, Ronnie Coleman looks amazing in the shot. The gut doesn't look too crazy. I mean, Jay Cutler's core looks amazing, but overall, I'll give this one to Ronnie Coleman. All right, so to conclude this comparison, we can tally up all the points to decide a winner. Ronnie Coleman won the front double bicep, the front lat spread, the rear lat spread, the rear double bicep, and the most muscular shot, putting him at 5 points. Jay Cutler won the side chest, the side tricep, and the abs and thighs, which puts him at 3 points. This means that Ronnie Coleman would have won this comparison with a score of 5-3. I think that I did a fair job at judging it. However, you guys can leave your comments down below telling me if I should change the scaling, if there's other things I can improve on, and overall, yeah, if you like the video, like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Thank you.